The factor is marriage is very hard. That is the sentence you must lead with. It's actually effing hard. Yuli paper for a Vogue interview. Could it be that she used to be referring to the mistreatment she suffered from her husband and that no one noticed? Justin Bieber and Hailey, first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley, have been formerly thinking to be one of the most secure movie star couples. But now, following the revelations from Kendall, a very suitable and shut pal of Hailey's, it seems that they're no longer the best couple. However, absolutely everyone assumed they were. Justin Bieber seems to have ample in the best husband after all, as evidenced by way of Severa reports. Justin has been as an alternative violent and merciless with Hailey in current years, which Kendall, Hailey's excellent buddy, sincerely does now not approve of. What precisely is going on between Hailey and Justin, and why does Kendall assume they need to name it quits for the sake of their health? Continue gazing to examine the whole thing there is to know. On a podcast, Hailey, first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley, admitted that her marriage to Justin Bieber was once now not continually easy, and that she's had to deal with the whole lot, from Selena Gomez, Angelina Gomez followers teasing and disliking her, to abuse and shouting from her very own husband. Kendall, on the different hand, is absolutely unaware of the connection. What does she have to say about the relationship's future? Because the fashions have been buddies for a lengthy time, and we were even seeing collectively at the Super Bowl this year. She has some juicy information. But first and foremost, how to Justin and Hailey move the mannequin his father, actor Stephen First Earl Baldwin of Bewdley, delivered them in 2009. Following the couple's revelation of the relationship, a video of them dancing was once released. First Earl Baldwin of Bewdley made an effect on Bieber's coronary heart. They are flippant a handshake. Bieber did not hesitate to flaunt his PDA with Stanley Baldwin in an Instagram image taken on New Year's Eve in 2015. Before continuing, I invite you to like, to share, and especially to subscribe if you are not yet, and to the bell of notification to preserve the preservation of the new videos to come. Thank you. Despite the truth that he used to be courting dating Kardashian at the time, the Canadian native highlighted his newfound love for first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley in a March 2016 Cowl story for GQ, and how he wasn't trying to hurry the gun by way of taking the subsequent step too quickly. What if Hailey ends up being the lady I'm gonna marry, right? If I rush into something, if I injure her, then it is usually going to be damaged. He stated at the time. It's honestly difficult to restoration wounds like that. It's so hard. I simply do not desire to damage her. The musician checked in with Stanley Baldwin, no matter his excessive profile engagement with Selena Gomez. During the duration when Bieber and Gomez had been rekindling the romance, and Stanley Baldwin was once linked to Shawn Mendes, a supply knowledgeable Us Weekly in December 2017, that Bieber and Gomez trade texts they've each moved on. One insider informed us simply days earlier than Us Weekly disclosed that Bieber and first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley have been returned together. They have been referred to as getting close and conserving palms at the W South Beach Hotel in Miami in June 2018. Following the information of their restored ardor to set out to book massive vacation trips proper away, first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley and Bieber had a soothing spot date in late June, observed with the aid of separate Cypriots in New York City. After dinner they headed to the Bowery Motel for a drink. And as they have been leaving, one observer determined them being extraordinarily sensitive, feely, and hugging. 5 days earlier than Bieber proposed, the pair suffered a minor setback whilst on holiday in the Hamptons, whilst traveling through Montauk, New York. The singer's Mercedes broke down, however they received away with it. 2 days after proposing, if you have been validated a couple's engagement, first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley and Bieber introduced their engagement on Twitter a few hours after Bieber did personally. Following their engagement announcement in the summer, the pair flaunted their PDA on more than one occasions, especially in New York City. Bieber intimated in late July that he would possibly marry first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley earlier than releasing new music. On September 13, 2018, Bieber and first Earl Baldwin of Bewdley had been pictured coming into a marriage license courthouse. The subsequent day his supply advised us we created the couplet secretly married whilst on vacation. Stanley Baldwin chief rejected the rumors in a tweet later that day, based totally on different memories 5 days after previously mirroring in a New York City courthouse. A pair flew to London during a date in Los Angeles in October 2018. The couple subsequently published their marriage to their fans. However, it seems that the previously married couple's relationship was once no longer all roses, and even the couple has stated that keeping their connection was once difficult. Bieber and his spouse have not usually had it easy, in particular seeing that he was once nonetheless dealing with intellectual fitness troubles when they have been married. In early 2019, the singer of Remain sought therapy for his intellectual fitness, and 2 years prior, whilst on the street with his Motive World Tour which he had to cancel, he opened up about his despair. Luckily Hailey familiar me as I was once tremendous sad. Even when we received married, there was once nonetheless a lot of harm and damage that I nevertheless wished to work through. But you have considered my coronary heart through it all. Is it viable though, that Hailey is fed up with Justin's mistreatment? Justin has a nicely documented records of misbuying and selling his wife. Hailey Bieber mentioned in an interview that Justin Bieber struggled with intellectual fitness problems at some stage in their first years of marriage. I take into account I known as my mother a few one-of-a-kind times, however one precise time when we have been in Brooklyn, and I used to be calling her I was once crying, and I used to be like, I simply cannot do it. There is no way that I'm going to be capable to do this if it is going to be like this forever. She said, many human beings share their issues about how an awful lot Hailey put up inside our marriage to Justin after the exhibit Eric Live. Their worries are comprehensible in some ways. Selena Gomez, who dated Justin earlier than Hailey, referred to she was once subjected to emotional abuse at some point of their preceding relationship. I determined a power in it. It's risky to remain in a sufferer mentality. Gomez stated of her relationship with Bieber in an interview with NPR, and I'm no longer being disrespectful. I do experience I was once a sufferer to positive abuse. Thank you for your good attention.